I work in a thunderstorm when it's pouring down rain. So that's why it's taking me so long to get here. But we got a lot to cover today. So in this episode, we're going to be tackling this floor finally. Out the way, then I can move on to the big parts. Now I need to take pretty much half of this cabinet out because I'm going to cut some more of this floor away to expose the joist that's running along the floor. So I'm going to go ahead and take this out. These are really easy to take out. I took an outlet out. There was a little bit of ductwork right there. And then just some screws that screw to the wall and to the floor. And as soon as you take those up, the whole thing pretty much comes up. These are very simply made, so there's nothing complicated or crazy to it. And it just came right up, which was super nice. Next, I'm marking my joist where the floor joist is, where I want to make my cut. And in all honesty, there's really not a good square to work with here. So I'm going to either take a gamble if my edge that I already cut there is straight or if the wall right there is straight. So I went with the wall. It ended up being like, I don't know, a quarter of an inch off, but it wasn't really so bad. Next, I got my circular saw and I preset the depth on it. That way I didn't go too deep and hit my framing right there underneath. And I just ran it across in the line that I already had. Not shown is I also got my multi-tool and cut along the edge of the wall because it does tuck underneath the wall. So I did need to cut that. After I cut all that, it pretty much came right up just like that. So my edge right there was actually pretty good. So I've got some good meat right there where I can screw some more wood into and kind of add some more framing to it. As you see right here, I'm just kind of cleaning up this extra tarp and getting rid of that because we don't need that. After that, I need to grind off some of the screws that are still left in this original framing. So I just got an angle grinder with a cutoff wheel and just cut all those off anywhere that I saw an extra screw. All right, now bear with me for this because I was trying to figure out how thick I need to cut my 2x4. So I got a piece of OSB that I was going to use and I measured basically how thick the original flooring in the camper was. Basically the entire thing all the way from the frame up. And then I subtracted that from the OSB and I think it ended up being like 1.5 inches, a little over, a little less than 1.5 inches. So I'm just going to double check. It should be a little over 2 inches right there, and it was. So I'm going to cut all of this framing right here. This is just 2x4s that I'm just ripping down. Nothing special about it. So again, basically the idea is you want the floor to be completely flush with whatever flooring is already there. So I measured from the actual frame of the trailer all the way to the top piece of the OSB that's already in the camper, and then I just subtracted that from whatever thickness OSB I wanted to use. In my case, I think it's like, what is it, 1130 seconds or something like that. I went a little bit thicker than 7/16 just because I didn't think it was quite thick enough, and as you can see, it is messy work, so definitely wear your dust mask. Next, I'm going to do a little sketchy sketch because I like to draw things out and have a plan before I actually start building things. So I'm kind of looking and determining where the actual framing of the trailer is and how I want to use that to build my floor. And this is kind of what I came up with. And that's mainly because I didn't want to go back and buy 10-foot pieces. So I split it up into 2 8-foot sections, which you'll see why once I actually put it all together. Right now I'm just cleaning up all this junk that's right here. It looked messy and nasty and I don't know, I just needed it to be cleaned up. So I'm going to clean up a little bit of this mess and then I'm going to start building this frame. So I'm building it first and then I will put the tarp underlayment on it after I decide that this is exactly how I want to build it. So first things first, I'm going to screw in this 2x4 to the steel frame that's already here. I need a little extra support for this side of the flooring to come out because there's not really anything to grab onto. So I'm going to put this here as a little ledge just to make life a little bit easier, and it makes me feel a little better knowing that I have a little bit more support right there. I am using bolts for this, so these are basically stainless steel lag bolts with a washer on it. It seemed a whole lot better than using screws. I actually tried to use screws and it snapped on the first one. So I was like, nope, we're going to go with something a little more heavy. So I do believe these are like 2.5-inch screws that I used. And here's my little side diversion because my kids are always drawing like little knives and scrap pieces of wood, and then they ask me to cut it out, and they won't stop asking me until I actually cut it out. So I had to take a little break and cut out this little itty bitty knife that my son made, and then I can continue to do what I was planning on doing in the first place. But that's okay. So right here, this is just me laying out the pieces that I already had pre-cut to make sure that in my head, my drawing kind of matched up with what I could actually do in person. I always like to this is just like a little mock-up to make sure that I think it's going to hit on enough of that framing and be sturdy enough to where I can put OSB over it. And I did like how it came out. I didn't fully do it. I really just did the outside. And I don't know, technically I didn't have to do this. I could have just put my tarp underlayment down and called it a day, but I can't do that because that's not how my brain works. So if your brain works like that, then you go right ahead. But I just wanted to make sure. So that's where I'm at. Now, here's that tarp underlayment I was talking about, and this is basically to waterproof because you obviously see the sides are open right there. There's no protection from the elements or from any type of animals or anything else like that. And I had thought about a couple different ways to do this. One of them was to use spray adhesive to kind of glue this tarp onto a piece of 1/4-inch plywood and then stick that down first. But honestly, I didn't see the point in spending more money on the wood. Especially when it wouldn't have any structural value to it. It would have just been, just add a little like sturdiness, I guess, to those parts that'll be exposed. But in the campers that I have done in the past where I've torn up the floor, they didn't have that. It was just this tarp underlayment. So if that's good enough for other manufacturers, then it's going to be good enough for me. Plus, it saves me a little bit of money in the long run that I don't have to buy 3 or 4 extra sheets of 1/4-inch plywood. Now, I will link these tarps in my Amazon storefront. There obviously is like actual underlayment material that you can use that you can buy through, I think Rec Pro sells it, or just other like RV manufacturers will sell it. But honestly, this is the same stuff. I think it's like, I mean, it's really thick. It's like a heavy duty tarp. And I bought 2 10x10s to cover this. So what I'm doing is I started at the front right there and I basically put this wood underneath the tarp and then I screwed it down with those same bolts that I used for the front 2x4 that I screwed in. So anywhere along this aluminum frame right here, I'm going to use these bolts. I just liked them a lot better. They screwed in really easily and they stayed really well. So I just like that a whole lot better than using screws. But again, your personal preference, totally up to you. It's all about what you're comfortable with. So here's the second tarp that I had, and I'm going to overlap this quite a bit. I just don't want there to be any room for, like, say an animal decides they want to try to get in there. Well, they're going to be sealed off on one side or the other side with the tarp because all of this is going to go under the framing that's there. So that's really why I made such a big overlap. Plus, I had plenty of tarp right here because it was a 10-foot tarp, and I think I only used maybe a 7-foot section of it. So I figured mine as well. And I'm doing the same thing on the sides, that framing that I already cut. I'm putting underneath the tarp and then I am screwing those bolts in directly into that aluminum frame. Same thing with this side. I'm trying to be really careful about pulling this tarp tight because obviously I don't want it to be too loose because there's going to be insulation underneath it. So I do want to get it kind of as tight, not as tight as possible, but not a whole lot of slack to where it sags on the underbelly because I do want it to still hold the support of the insulation that I'm going to put in. So now that I've got the front and the sides on, I'm coming to the back part right here and I'm just trimming this tarp because there's way too much material here and these fit a whole lot better and I can see where it's going to go. So I'm going to put this new piece in right here. This goes directly on top of that 2x4 that I put in before. Now this one's going to be a little different because I'm basically just going to screw this in. I'm not going to use bolts on this one. Didn't really see a need for it. Plus then I'd have to kind of find out where those bolts were coming from the top when I put the new floor on, and that didn't seem worth it. Screws will hold this in just fine. And then I move on to the front part here. I don't know if you remember that picture, but it's basically four 2x4s that I had already cut, and one runs along one side of the frame, the other runs along the other side of the frame, and then there is actually it's like a weird aluminum tab that sticks out in the front, and those are going to go screw directly into that aluminum tab that sticks out. Thought that'd be a really good place to put these in. And because it's a pain in the butt to crouch down over there, I just went through the little side things to screw these in. I just have pocket holes, one on each side that I screwed these pieces into. And then when I'm coming for the middle right here, I drew some pilot holes, and I just put some regular screws and screwed that directly into that little tab that sticks out of the aluminum frame that's right there. And then after that, there's a piece of wood that's kind of further in that you see right there. I just basically drilled some pilot holes and screwed it all together. There's nothing too fancy or too crazy about it. I used my square to make sure that the pieces were square in there. And this is basically what this whole front section is going to look like. Keep in mind, this is not really load bearing because there's going to be a bed right here, and you're just going to, this is underbelly storage. But it will be sturdy enough. If it was supposed to be load bearing or you did want to walk on it, it'll be sturdy enough either way. So next I'm going to work on this front piece. So I put another 2x4 that I had already pre-cut beside that front piece that I already screwed in, and these are going to be four floor joists that are coming down, one on one side of the frame, the other on the other side of the frame, and then I kind of split the difference between the middle two pieces. I didn't want to put the joints in the same spot. I kind of wanted to stagger them, but again, that's personal choice. And you know, if you have extensive damage like this to your camper, your plan is going to be different than this one. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to hit as many of the trailer frame, I guess not even a joist because it's just a trailer frame, but I'm trying to hit as much of that steel frame as I absolutely can, because that's going to make it extremely sturdy, and that is going to give you the best possible result and not let you have squishy floors or soft spots or anything else like that, as long as you have no more water damage. So now that that front piece is pretty much in and finished, I'm going to start on this little corner right here. I had to come out all the way this far because this was rotten. So this piece right here, I actually ended up adding another piece underneath. You see there's a water tank right there. Underneath on the side of the water tank, just to add a little extra support right there. Basically stuck a 2x4 under, then drilled some 3-inch screws all the way through the top of the floor. That's still good right there, and down into the 2x4 just as a little extra support on that side. And I have underneath the, or I guess it's above the water tank right there, there's actually framing inside of the original floor that I screwed directly into as well. So if you have any places where 2x4s are kind of sticking out of the original floor, you can definitely screw into those as well to kind of join the two floors together. Now I wanted to include this because this does happen a lot if your 2x4 is kind of bent. My framing didn't perfectly line up like I wanted it to, so I actually just get a clamp and I split it between the two pieces of wood and clamp it down, and it'll bring those two pieces of wood together where I can screw them in and they're not misaligned. Now the last step for today is I am bringing this tarp over and I'm stapling it on top, and then I just cut off the excess. This is just to kind of make sure that when I put the flooring down, the tarp isn't going to go anywhere. It's not going to fall back through. So I really want to make sure that I have a good, basically fresh surface right there for when I put my OSB down, and this is how it looks. So last step for today, I actually have a ratchet, just a hand ratchet, and I'm going and double checking all these bolts to make sure that they are tight against the wall, because sometimes the drill doesn't do a very good job of getting a tight fit on them. So I'm just going to double check them. And then tomorrow is insulation and flooring. So I will see y'all then. Have a great night.